Well, thank you for answering these questions. One of the key themes in Plato seems to be, for many people, the difference between appearance and reality. We hear a lot when this is invoked about the cave or Plato's cave. What's that about?
Well, at the heart of Plato's philosophy, or his metaphysics, is called the theory of forms. Now, the important thing about the theory of forms in Plato is he never actually talks about the theory of forms. This is something we have to reconstruct. And normally when it comes to telling the reader what the theory of forms is, he usually tells a story or a parable or a metaphor. And the cave is possibly the most famous analogy or metaphor or story for Plato's theory of forms, and we find it in the dialogue called the Republic. Basically, you have to imagine that you're trapped in a cave, and all you can see, all your reality is just shadows that are cast on the opposite wall. You're trapped in a cave because you're chained up by your legs. And people are carrying objects like figurines or pottery animals, and these are throwing shapes against the wall. And because you don't know any better, that's what you think reality is. And that's, for Plato, an analogy for the kind of basic knowledge that people have about what they think reality is. So he would think it called like sensible knowledge. And now, one day, one of the prisoners gets freed. He escapes from his chains, and he sees that what he thought was reality are just these shadows cast against the wall. So he escapes out of the cave and comes up to the surface of what? I don't know.
Yeah, where the cave is. Yeah.
Could be anywhere. And he sees the sun and the reality, and he realized that's the true reality, not what he saw, not what he saw in the cave, but the actual world outside the cave. So he thinks, I must go back into the cave and tell my fellow prisoners that what they think is real isn't really real, it's just these shadows. So he goes back into the cave, and this is meant, of course, to be a story about Socrates, who was Plato's teacher, and he goes back into the cave, and rather than the people being thankful that their friend has come back and told them what reality is, they kill him. Just like Socrates was murdered, or in Plato's opinion anyway, was murdered by the Athenian democracy.
And what's their motivation for killing? Why would you kill someone who's come to do that?
That's a good question, I suppose. Why would you want to know the truth when you're comfortable with a lie?
So they kill him out of kind of fear of their world being unsettled and change and all that kind of...
Exactly.
So the main theme, if I've heard you rightly, is that the cave is about teaching us that what seems to be and what actually is are not the same.
No.
That we need to go on a journey to find out what really is.
That is correct, yeah. So appearance is what things appear to us, and the lowest level of knowledge for Plato is, in fact, art. What poets say or painters do, because they're twice removed from reality. So an image for Plato is the lowest form of reality. So a picture of something, like a photograph of something, photograph of a tree, for imagine, would be removed from the reality of the tree. The next level of knowledge is sensible knowledge, what seems to you when you're looking at something, not as you understand it through an idea, but just as you look at it. That would be slightly better than an image, but the highest level of reality is the idea. So if you understand what a tree is, you understand the concept of a tree, then you have the highest level of knowledge. That would be the analogy to escaping the cave and understanding reality as it is in itself, not how it appears to you.
Okay, thank you.